Hello, how are we
Hi.
doing?
Fine, thank you. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Continuing to love the Batman as it goes through its many iterations from theaters to digital to HBO Max to now. Physically owning my own copy, which I'm so excited about.
Oh, so
Uh,
nice.
for both of you, I have to know, like, how crazy was it in the first place to get a call that you get to be in the Batman? What was that experience like? What is your own love of Batman? Charlie, if you want to start.
Yeah, I mean, we've both been huge, longtime fans of the Batman franchise. I remember we kind of grew up in the countryside, but we would go see these movies in theaters. I mean, I remember seeing. I'm not going to do the whole list, but each of them, and it was such a big deal to us. We read the comics, tried to reenact some of the scenes in the backyard with a camcorder. So when we auditioned for this project, we didn't have a name. All we got was sides from the French Connection, that incredible film from the 70s.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I think it was Christmas, the morning of Christmas Eve, we got a call a couple days after sending in the tape that we'd be going to London and that we'd be working on the Batman. So it was an excellent family Christmas.
Yeah, so that was like
Very
Santa
exciting.
said that you guys were good this year. That was
Yeah.
your
Extra
present.
good.
I love
Extra good.
that.
Until we got punched in the face by Rob, and then it was like, oh, never mind.
So
We
that
were
so you're
very
saying
bad.
that getting punched in the face by Rob is not the delightful experience that it appeared to be on screen.
As Charlie has said many times, I think there are people who would pay good money for that experience. But no, it was a blast. It was a blast to shoot all of it.
Now I know you guys have appeared in many things together, such as the show that I love to hate but am obsessed with, Teen Wolf. But your paths, but your paths diverged for a time after that. So at what point did you want to come back together? Why was Batman like an excellent choice for that, Max?
Yeah. So this all has to do with being twins, which is tough. Grow up, people can't tell you apart. They're like, oh, it's the Carvers. And you're like, no, I'm Max. That's Charlie. We happen to be born at the same time. No. So there's been this push and pull throughout our lives. We went to different high schools across the country from one another.
Oh wow.
We're mirror twins. I'm left-handed. He's right-handed. So this desire for like individuation and identity is very strong. That being said, when someone says, yo, you want to be in the Batman? It's like, yeah, absolutely. What do I got to do around here? So that was part of it. It's been on the flip. It's really fun to have our own paths, our own interests, to kind of develop our own voices creatively and artistically. And then to get to work together is really special too, because this was such a big film. We knew going in, you're not blind to, oh, it's the Batman. I get to share it with family, with my brother. And sometimes you work on projects and you come back and it's like going to summer camp. You try and tell someone how much fun summer camp was. And they're like, oh yeah, great. I wasn't there. Don't tell me about it. But I got to share this with Charlie. So it was really special. And we got to do all kinds of things that on a level and to a scale with, I couldn't believe. I've never worked on something this big in my life. And with the people and the caliber of the talent we were with, it was just like, so I got to share it with my bro.
Which is amazing. I love that. Now, speaking of being twins, I'm sure that both of you know that that has led to much speculation on the interwebs about who you may be. We have twins or almost twins. Obviously, there's Tweedledee and Tweedledum, or there's Min and Max, and those would lead to different villains. What speculations have you guys speculated on your own? Do you know? I'm sure you cannot tell me, but what can you tell me, Charlie?
We cannot tell you, but yes, we are familiar with twin lore in the Batman universe.
Very familiar. and all I will say is Selena Kyle is called Selena Kyle. I don't believe she's called the Catwoman. And the twins are the twins.
All right. Very
That's what that
interesting.
means.
Much to
It'll
think
be the-
about.
I don't know. I made that sound way cooler than it is.
Riddle you that.
Oh yes, I love it. Riddler puns. Okay, so Colin Farrell. I literally forgot he was in the movie when I was watching it because the makeup was so good. I want to know, what did that look like for you guys in real life? Can you tell that that's Colin Farrell?
The first time we saw him, no, we could not tell it was Colin Farrell. We thought
No.
it was somebody's agent who'd like walked up into the actor hall.
Wandered on the set
Who's
and
this
was
guy?
talking over Matt Reeves. Yeah.
Yeah. But the nicest guy. You know, what's so amazing is when you're making a movie at this scale, like there is just so much footage that can't get used because you have to tell it's about telling the story in the best way possible. But we spent hours in the Maserati with Colin, hanging out in the chairs with Colin, holding up umbrellas for Colin. So we really felt like Colin's shadow. It was weird because obviously I know who Colin Farrell is, and when he would drop his Gotham accent, he would go into his Irish accent. But I would like be trying to see his real face underneath the makeup, like oh there he is, because you could not recognize him.
No.
Oh my
You could
God.
not recognize him.
Oh, that's crazy. Now, okay. So I'm very excited. We've got all this bonus footage, like 2 hours, I think, of bonus footage that everyone's going to get to witness. Was there anything in there that you guys know about, that you're excited about, that you hope fans are going to love?
I think what's most exciting for me about bonus footage is you get to hear from Matt, you get to hear from Rob, and so you get to hear from people who invested so much time and energy into this mythology and love. I mean, it's not just like, hey, let's make a movie. It's truly love this story. I know Matt lives and breathes Batman. So to get to hear from someone who actually gets to bring that to life and his process and what went into that. I mean, to see behind the scenes of how staggeringly large these sets were. We built a cathedral in a World War I
Airship factory.
airship.
Wow.
I don't even know what to call it. I mean, it was massive. They built a church. They built just to see the scale and how big this movie is, on top of some of the stuff that was cut out. Like I would have gladly watched 5 hours of the Batman personally, because
As would I.
I
As
know
would
what-
I.
I know what was missing, and now you can at home
Yes, just
on May
put it on.
24th.
No, Charlie, speaking of, being our own individuals and having growth, you've gotten to do like Broadway now and also at film adaptation of said Broadway. Like,
Yeah.
how did that experience change you as an actor?
Whew. I mean, I learned a lot shifting. It's got to be so rare. Not only did we get to film a version of the play, but with the Broadway cast. So that was just so fun. And it changed me in that I think it's just really healthy when Max and I get to work separately and then show up together and kind of be a unit again. With the Batman, even though we have small parts, there was so much that went into preparation of the physicality and the voice and working with the wardrobe team and the special effects makeup team to do the tattoos, and I have an eyebrow that won't grow back. But Max and I got to kind of mirror our work to one another. And so it's just interesting. I learned so much when I go off on my own, and same probably goes for Max. And when we work together, we really get to kind of be involved in each other's process. And yeah.
That's wonderful. And
Growing.
Max, yeah, growing. Max, you were dipping your toe in like directing and writing as well. Is that correct? How is that
The water's
developing?
deep. The water is deep. Nah, it's cool. I'm really excited. We've been working in LA now, or in Hollywood, for 13 years.
Mhm.
And it takes a while to start to go like, well, what do I really want to say or do? And I think I can speak for Charlie. We're both getting to that point where we've got a couple projects that we've worked really hard on for years, probably 5, maybe more years, that I'm really excited I feel empowered to do something about, it's like,
Yeah.
okay, cool. So it's just about, particularly with anything creative, I think it's just about persistence and being stubborn. So I'm
grateful
glad
for
I've
the
been a little
courage.
cockroach. I've survived. And
I love that. You know what? Cockroaches get a bad rap, but like you said, they are survivors.
that's right.
That is kudos to both of you. for managing that and looking better than a cockroach while doing it, which
Thank you
is
kindly.
very important.
I tried.
Thank you guys so much. I can't wait to watch The Batman 16 more times.
Oh yeah.
And-
24th.
Yeah,
In,
on the 24th.
4K.
In 4K.
HD, Ultra.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Have a great day.